You're listening to Disturbing the Priest with Brandon Baddock.
Welcome back to another episode of Disturbing the Priest. I'm your host, Brandon Baddock, and we are here with a very, very special episode of the podcast. I have waited a very, very long time to do this episode. There is a new Metallica song after 6 years. Lux Æterna came out November 28th, 2022 on Blackened Records, and is the first single for the album 72 Seasons, which we'll get to shortly, but wow. I remember just waking up and just going on my phone super tired, let's see what the Facebook gods have to offer. And the first thing on my timeline, Metallica 72. I thought I was looking at an ad for the new Post Malone album, because it's just the new aesthetic of Metallica is this black and yellow, and it reminds me of Beer Bong and Bentley, whatever that Post Malone album was. For some reason, it really reminded me of that. The only thing it's missing is barbed wire. But I was like, what? I was so shocked. I'm like, that's the album cover. This is the band's new look. Oh my God, there's a new song. I was very hardwired that day. No, but I was very, very excited, and I listened to it. Oh my God, let's get into it. Disturbing the Priest reviewing Metallica's new single, Lux Æterna. Here we go. Oh my God. So let me just start with their last record, because I see a lot of people bashing Hardwired now. They're like, damn, wow, Hardwired really sucks now, doesn't it? Oh my God, did you listen to the new Metallica single? Yeah, Hardwired sucks. I don't know, man. For me, Hardwired has a very special place in my heart. So I listened to that in high school, senior year. Senior year was when I was really, really into metal. Before that, I dabbled with some stuff. I was listening to Sabbath. I was listening to old school heavy, old Metallica albums. But the transition from junior to senior was that summer I really super got into metal. And listened to all the Metallica albums. Really, really got into Megadeth and the Big Four and Slayer, and then boom, Metallica announced Hardwired. I'm like, oh my God, the new single came out, the title track, I loved it. I thought it was just a fun, I love the intro of it. It's just I feel the song Hardwired is just always escalating in energy, and I like it, and I still do, and I still think it holds up. I'll be honest though, I think their best album since the Black Album is Death Magnetic, which, that's for another episode, but I seriously do think Death Magnetic is a mix between And Justice for All and the Black Album. I think it's the love child of those two. Yeah, the production sucks, but again, that's for a later episode. Do I think 72 Seasons will be better than Hardwired? Probably. Do I think it'll be better than Death Magnetic? Probably not. I really hope I'm wrong. I really, really hope I'm wrong. But, hey, we'll just have to see. You know what I mean? But the band has had a very interesting evolution up to this point. Something I've noticed recently, especially with the cover of the new record, where it's all yellow and it's a crib, and it's very 2020. It's definitely modern. I'll say that's all I'll say about it. It's a very modern cover. But the thing is and I see a lot of people trashing this, and I'll be honest, this might be the worst Metallica cover art. And I'm not just talking about the single, I'm talking about the record alone, 72 Seasons. But again, I don't know, maybe Hardwired was a little worse. But I feel every Metallica album is modern in its own way. Kill 'Em All was very 83. The Black Album, very 90s. I know it's just black, but... And even Load and Reload, I felt that was almost a grunge aesthetic. And then Death Magnetic felt like, I'm not even talking about Saint Anger. Death Magnetic felt like, what did that come out? 08, 09? It looks like a metal album that came out in 08 or 09. Just the cover. Hardwired came out in 2016. It looks like something that came out in 2016. And here we are, 2022. And yes, it is the most Metallica 2022 looking album cover I have ever seen. And even the single's a little weird. It's just like a yellow thing in the M. The guy on the Metallica single for Lux Æterna looks like he's blown away. I don't know what kind of body language he's doing. I don't know what that is. If he's shocked, if he's, wow, there's a new Metallica album coming out. Whoa, I think is it the fan? Is it a fan? Is it Lars? I don't know. And I don't really care at this point. But hey, it's growing on me. The one thing I will say about the cover is it should have had Metallica on it. It should say Metallica at the cover. That'd be cool, And I'm kind of surprised Metallica is like just doing the modern stuff where this song, and we'll see with the rest of the album, is very old school, especially with Stranger Things and whatnot. And you have all the I don't know what to call them. I don't want to say, I'm 24. I don't want to like saying like kids or millennials, but the teenagers of my generation, this generation, like to wear old school Metallica shirts as like a fashion, So I wasn't sure if Metallica was just gonna like kind of lean on that and like just make a really old school cover art, maybe an old school song. I got one of those right. They made a very, very old school Kill 'Em All track, which let's get into it. So the song is called Lux Æterna, which in Latin, I guess it translates to eternal light, which 2022 Metallica makes a lot of sense because James has been very overly positive lately. And he's been going through a lot. I don't blame him. And James has been through a lot. He's been through so much. But he's very positive in this song. Because this song is just about like, hey, let's overcome the darkness. Let's work together as one. Let's do this. Full speed or nothing. But no, I like it. It's cool. This song reminds me a lot. It's like a mix between Hit the Lights and Lords of Summer? Which is an awesome song. Okay, it's Lords of Summer. Lords of Summer and Hit the Lights is what this song reminds me of. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the song Lords of Summer, it's actually an unreleased track from Hardwired, which people like really like. And it should have been on the album, but nope, they cut it. And the song Hit the Lights, which is off Kill 'Em All. I actually saw a video recently where someone took the instrumentals of Hit the Lights and put the vocals of Lux Æterna over them, and they sounded pretty good, actually. It sounded pretty awesome. But the song overall I like. I'll be honest, it's probably the most overproduced Metallica song ever, which I don't like at all. Thrash metal has always been so raw, so like balls to the wall. Even the start of thrash metal, and it comes from a lot of like hardcore punk where it's just just hit record and we'll do it, we'll do the thing. But I swear to God, this song sounds like it was made by like 200 sound engineers. Like James even said, like this was an easy one to write, but once it was written, oh my God. The engineers went to town on this one. The drums are a little compressed, but I'll be honest, like if I just looked at the drums alone, like regardless of the context of the genre, probably the best sounding drums on a Metallica album, period. Probably even better than the Black Album. Just really solid, really full, a little compressed, but it just sounds really good. And it's tight, too. That's how I knew this song was super overproduced and very Frankenstein, was because of how in time everything was. You hear that and you're like, oh, Lars didn't do that. Lars did not do that. There's no way. I really can't wait to hear like this song live or like hear the first recording of it, the premiere of the song, and just compare it to the studio one, because it's super tight. They really tighten it up, which is cool, like these guys are they're not getting any younger. I get it. It's whatever. It's not a crime. I'll give them a pass, but for me personally, my personal taste, I like thrash metal very raw. It's something where when I listen to thrash metal, production isn't my biggest need, if that makes sense. But yeah, this song, Lux Æterna, is just like Metallica trying to be old school. New wave British heavy metal. Pretty cool. And I like it. And there's a little Easter egg in it. And no one's talked about this, but there's a line where James says, "Lightning the Nations," which is a direct reference to the album by Diamond Head, Lightning to the Nations, which has the song Am I Evil on it, which they've covered. Has Helpless on it, which I believe they covered also. But really cool that it's a direct callback to Diamond Head, which they actually reissued on vinyl, Lightning to the Nations, recently, and it's amazing. I got it right away. It sounds beautiful. I just hate they changed the cover art, because the cover art used to be very 80s and cool, and they just made it like some cartoon demon, which I wasn't really crazy over, but whatever. It's 2022. Like, you can't expect metal bands from the 80s to have old school cover art anymore, which sucks. I also, another little Easter egg is there's actually like a Motorhead reference in this song, which is cool. And this must be a Motorhead reference, because the song kind of fake stops, and it's like, oh, it's over, and then it's like the drums come in and it starts up again. Kind of like the song Overkill by Motorhead, which they loved. I think it's like Lars's favorite Motorhead record too, so that was a cool little nod. It must be, But that was cool. I really do like how old school this track is. It's a little too slow for my taste, which, I don't know. I guess I am kind of nitpicking there. There's a version you can listen to on YouTube where someone like sped it up and toyed around with it a little bit. It sounds so awesome. Because again, it's like hit the lights but slow down a little more, which is fine. It's whatever. I don't care. But another complaint I kind of have with the song is that it is a little safe. You know what I mean? With the name of the song, the chorus, the song structure, it's cool. You have the little fake out, I guess, but it is played a little safe. Metallica has been known to have like really cool progressions in a song, and just like how a song evolves. Take like Master of Puppets, for example, But Metallica, like, recently just like very simple, almost like punky song structures. Like, they've been playing a lot of Saint Anger recently, which Saint Anger is just very simple, very just riff-based, nothing really more. They're far past their Injustice for All days, unfortunately. But you never know. Like, this is just the first single. This is just a little taste. So, I could be very wrong. But overall, the song's great. I like it. The pre-chorus is really cool. And talk about a catchy chorus. And just how, like, James screams it and, like, holds it. Which, I'm not sure if I'm listening to James or a computer, but it's still cool. It's still awesome. It is, like, the most fun, modern Metallica karaoke song you can ask for. The riff is cool, too. The riff in this song is probably getting the most praise out of anything said about this song. The which I'm not really crazy about it, honestly. Even when, like, I first heard it, I'm like, all right, it's all right. But it's grown on me a little bit. The vocals are fine. That's, like, some of the complaints I've heard from people. People say the worst part of the song, or the song that, like, the part that is turn them off from this song, were the vocals. But I don't mind them. I don't mind a old James Hetfield at all. And I'm not calling James Hetfield old, but when you do get older, your voice becomes more and more, maybe a little more like Lemmy with every decade. And I like that. I don't mind it with Metallica. It's not like 18-year-old James from Kill 'Em All. Like, Black Album James is probably the best one. But I've never really had a problem with James. Like, I'm a Megadeth fan. I don't care about vocals. And I don't really see the problem with his vocals at all. I think that's really nitpicking. Because, again, like, they scrubbed his vocals so much. Like, I don't know, man. Sorry, it doesn't sound like Kill 'Em All, I guess. Whatever. Maybe for the next album, James could have like a 17-year-old come in and sing all the songs. But yeah, man, it's a fun song. I love it. I love most aspects of the songs. It's not really... There is one part I guess I don't like about the song, and that is the solo. Jesus Christ, the solo. It is just the most unnecessary wah-driven thing. I think Death Magnetic was like his final, like, really good. Like, he has a lot of great solos on that, and that's it. Spit Out the Bone, I guess, like, has some good stuff on it, like, solo-wise, but, you know, I always hear people, like, be like, oh my god, it's like Master of Puppets. It's like, what? Like, it just sounds like someone, like, really drunk with a guitar who can shred a little bit. Just like, hey, let's see how much noise I can make with this guitar right now. Like, there's no really... Like, he's just sliding a ton. He's just using the wah a ton. It's just, like, way too noisy. It just seems a little too crazy, you know? Especially with, like, them trying to be 80s in this song, I guess. It just doesn't really fit, in my opinion. Which, that's another complaint I've heard about the solo. I think the solo is the biggest complaint. And maybe not the vocals, but just how safe this band was with this song. And don't get me wrong, like, this is actually like a really good song. But, you know, we're talking Metallica. Like, the bar is set. And I guess, you know, we're also talking about modern Metallica, but still, you know, I have hope. I like to look at the bright side sometimes. It's a good song. A lot of people are saying it's better than anything that's come out in the past, like, couple decades. Wrong. No way. I don't think so. I think Spit Out the Bone's better than this one. Spit Out the Bone's sick. It's so underrated. It is the final track off Hardwired. It is so good. I rarely listen to it because I've kind of just like worn the song out because I've played it so much. But there will be a time. There is a time and place for that song, and I enjoy it quite a lot, quite extensively. But the song still is great. Still really good. It's been on repeat in my car ever since it came out. It's a very radio-friendly song also. I'm surprised I haven't heard it on the radio recently, where I don't really listen to the radio, but this must be playing on some stations. Like, this is, you know, it's like 3 minutes. It's very fast. It's very busy. It's also like vintage Metallica, man. So I can't imagine stations not picking this up. But yeah, overall, you know, I give it a thumbs up. Solid thumbs up. It's really good. I think... This is a great single. This is probably like the best single to come out since, I don't know. I don't want to make that statement right now. But this has been the best Metallica single to come out in a long time. If you're saying it's better than Hardwired or Atlas Rise or Moth into Flame, I won't argue with you. It's really good. I am very, very excited to hear the rest of this record. And from just, like, reading some of the song names on the new album, they don't really seem like Metallica songs. So maybe this is just, like, an old school track and the rest of it will be different. You know? How funny would it be if, like, this is the only old school song and the rest of the album is kind of like, you know, Megadeth's Risk? It's just, like, trying to be super modern. You get, like, Post Malone on a song. That'd be very fitting with the aesthetic. Maybe you can get Mac Miller on a track or something. That might be cool. Ice-T, you know, Dave did it with the new one. That'll be another thing. I can't wait to... All right, I don't want to do this. Should I make the comparison with Metallica and Megadeth? All right, I will. Megadeth put out a record this year. Funny enough, Megadeth and Metallica released stuff like very close to each other. Because Metallica and Megadeth, I think it was they both released a record in 2016. Or maybe it was like I think it was 2016 and 2017. Maybe I mixed them up, but I'll be honest, like, we'll be back. I'll be surprised if Metallica can top that. That was the first Megadeth single. Really, really awesome. But I don't know. I think the lowest lows on the new Metallica album won't be as low as some of the ones on the new Megadeth album, which I'm not saying the lowest lows on the new Megadeth album are bad. I'm just saying I think Metallica is going to play it very safe with this one. And I'm excited for it. Double LP. I'm not mad. You know, I say they should just put a single LP out. You just need like a solid 40 minutes. But hey, it's like, let's just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Which I get, I guess. But no, it's just a fun song. I like it. The riff's fun. It's very, very British heavy metal. It's really awesome. Imagine if they just like go more into that for the rest of the record. Like there's almost like a doomy song. That'd be crazy. If this is almost like just like a load or reload, but like just different eras of metal of each song, maybe. They do like a black metal song. Which they did this song called Man Unkind on their last one, Hardwired, which is literally a song about, I think it's like literally about Mayhem. Because the music video is Mayhem performing a 2016 Metallica song, which is so crazy. What happened? I don't know, man. I think it's awesome. I think it's really cool. And listen, man, if you don't like it, just listen to like Whiplash or like Testament or something. There's plenty of thrash metal out there. Plenty of good, just like fast riffs, way better solos. Whiplash, Power and Pain. I checked that one out. All right, well, listen, man, this has been a wonderful episode of Disturbing the Priest. I'm super pumped for this. I really like this song. It does have a few problems, but you know, again, this song has been on repeat in my car. I'm jamming out to it. What a great karaoke song too. Just really, really awesome. Well, listen, man, I'm Brandon Baddock, and this has been Disturbing the Priest.